Are you tired of making multiple trips to the cooler, only to return with a handful of bottles and a fistful of frustration? Well, put down those bottles and pick up the Bottle Buddy. Made from 100% HDPE, the Bottle Buddy is the ultimate cooler companion. With its versatile design, it can cradle multiple glass bottles of various shapes and sizes. From hipster IPAs to grandma's ginger ale, imagine being the hero of the party, fetching everyone's drinks in one trip. No more tedious treks to the cooler, no more dropped bottles, no more, well, you get the idea. Get your Bottle Buddy today and become the ultimate host with the most. Order now and receive a complimentary bottle opener, because let's face it, you're gonna need it.
This was the first design, and obviously it is not the final product. Not because of the way that it looks, which I didn't see until about an hour ago, but because it just doesn't function as intended. Now, I originally saw this design first on Instagram, and I saw that somebody had a piece of plywood, they cut a few strips into it, and they made it so that it was the right dimension to be able to accept beer bottles. Now, it works really well with Coke bottles as well. You can just slide these down, but the more you slide down on here, the more it is going to push back, and then you're going to have these bottles actually fall out. Another thing that I did notice as well is that when you're putting these in, and then you don't have them seated down in the proper way and there's too much pressure on them, it can accidentally open up a bottle. So in order to alleviate this, I really wanted to refine the design a little bit and give us a much shorter product that uses way less material but also just works a lot better. Now, obviously, cutting this out of wood is going to be the easiest thing, but in order to have the best product possible, cutting it out of plastic is a really great option. Now, this is just 1/2" HDPE, which is the cutting board material that you can readily find anywhere. They're all across the world as far as in kitchens and restaurants and stuff. But this comes in a lot of different thicknesses, which makes it great for some single one-off projects. Of course, you can buy this in much bigger sheets in specialty stores, but what I like to do is just order these cutting boards off of Amazon. As you can see right here, it comes in different colors, and those different colors are coded for the different types of things that a kitchen might cook on. And one of the great things is the colors are all the way through. So if you're getting one of these white/clear boards, this is going to be very standard. It's going to be the cheapest way to do it, but for just an extra $1 or $2, you can get this in blue, yellow, red, brown, all different types of colors. Now, previously in the plywood, I used my Downtown Jenny to cut this out using the same feeds and speeds that are available to everybody on CNC with me. But for the HDPE, in order to get the best cut possible, I switched over to the O Jenny, which is a bit specifically meant for plastic. And I still ran it at the exact same feeds and speeds as I ran my Downtown Jenny, but I made sure to do it at conventional because it just leaves a much better finish overall. I did put double-sided tape on the very bottom of this HDPE, and that's a really great way to hold plastic. I find that it sticks incredibly well. Nothing is really going to pop off unless you have a very, very tiny part. After that, I put on a little bit of a radius. This is a 3/16" mini roundover bit, and it is perfect for when you have something that's directly cut off on the CNC machine. You can go ahead and profile one side right as it is stuck down to the bed before you take everything off and flip it over to the other side. Now, after that, I did notice that the double-sided tape, as the upcut bit was lifting everything up, it did leave a little bit of residue alongside all of the profiles on all these pieces. So I took some lacquer thinner and then I rubbed all the parts down. And a really great way to make sure that this would not happen is to use an Airweights system. This HDPE is perfect for Airweights. I do not know why I didn't do it on this one. Honestly, I've been switching things around the shop a little bit for some background stuff that I'm really excited to show off. And I just didn't have the Airweights on the machine at the time of filming this, which I should have just thrown it on there. This would have been perfect. These two are exactly the same thing, except for the fact that the very bottom of here is a much bigger. Now, the reason that I left this bigger is not only for branding, for you to be able to put your logo or any type of wording that you would like to down here, but also if you did want to, you could put a bottle opener so it is an all-in-one bottle carrier, bottle opener. The main reason that I did not do that is because I have had some people talking about the bottle opener inserts that I have designed a few projects around, that the screws can be a little bit finicky. Sometimes they won't catch into the material, other times they'll just break off completely. So I currently am looking for some better types of bottle opener and screw combos that all come together that is a little bit more reliable. So if you have anything that you know of, go ahead and comment that down below. I'm actively looking around for some stuff, so if you have anything, let me know. This definitely could be cut out of a 1/4 inch material. I think that is still going to work fine. The main thing that you want to pay attention to is the width of this channel and then the width of this top. Obviously the tops are meant to feed in here and then down into the channel. As you can see right here, it is really easy to do that, and then it just rests on its side. Very interesting thing that I ran into with this project is realizing that not all bottles are created equal. You have these which seem like it's going to fit and you seem like you have a good enough area, but once you go to stick it in, you realize that it's just not going to fit. And then you have bottles like this which have like a very large shelf at the top and then a thinner neck, and that's going to fit in. It's going to rest perfectly fine, and this is going to work out great. The unfortunate part is none of the other bottles that you see right here can fit into this, which is not really awesome. I have noticed that with Coke bottles as well as the beer bottles that I have around in my house, which I don't know if I can show on YouTube or not, but all those fit perfectly fine exactly with these channels that we have here for these projects. Now, I did want to go ahead and highlight off just the 2-1 version. I think this is going to be the most useful, and I think that most people are going to gravitate towards this one. As you can see, it's really easy to use. It's not bringing on a ton of weight. It's just a 6-pack. And I also think this is something that if you have it in market, it is an impulse purchase that somebody can automatically see the value of it, throw it in their cooler, use it for camping, tailgating, or whatever, and not think about it again. And it certainly can be around water all day long without any type of issue. And if for some reason they do leave it in the cooler and the cooler all molds, this is just as easy to clean off as your cooler is from mold, and it's not going to wreck the product by any means. These 3 designs I did cut out of one cutting board, and that cutting board was $20. So technically we have $7 of material in each one of these. Now cutting them out was no problem at all. It was under 2 minutes for each one of these, so if we're at $1 a minute on the CNC machine, and then the $7 in material, we're still at $9. So I really would try and shoot for selling this thing for around $20 in order to realize the profit. Now, if you're trying to ship this across the world, I think that is a completely different conversation, and selling things online is very different than selling things in markets because you do have to pay attention to shipping and adding in that cost and everything. But for markets, I think this is a no-brainer, and it's really easy to show off in a booth and show someone immediately what you get out of it and how easy it is to use. Now, if you're going to be downloading these files, the Carveco and Vectric versions, as well as the SVG and DXF, are all centered around this 2-channel version. But I do have the SVGs available for these as well if you're more inclined to use these. I'm actually very interested. Which one of these designs do you like most? Because I think that the easiest one is the 2-channel, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the 3-channel is the one that you think is going to sell more and has more perceived value to it. The Bottle Buddy is not inventive at all. So if you have a better name for this, I would love to hear it. When I first made this profile, I thought it looked like a walrus. So I was trying to think out a way to call it the Bottle Walrus or the Bottle Tusk or something like that. But I think you have to be told that it looks like a walrus in order to see that. There's a few different things that I thought of as far as like a surprised bunny. I don't know. Maybe y'all have a better name than me, and I would love to hear them down in the comments below because I really did just end up throwing Bottle Buddy at it and calling it a day. Next week we have our second CNC against me. Kevin won the contest on CNC with me, which means that he is going up against me and a few other YouTubers. Mitz himself is also making a video. I'm really excited to see everybody's projects, and y'all are once again going to vote on who is going to win. Really pumped about that. That is coming out next Friday, I think around 10 o'clock a.m. We're all going to be releasing our videos at the exact same time. And then I've got some really cool stuff, which I have not been teasing at all, that's happening here in the shop that I hope that y'all are going to be as excited about as I am, because there's some big stuff happening, and I hope that y'all stick around for it. So if you're not subscribed, please do so. Please like this video, and thank you so much to all of you CNC with me members. Y'all are incredible as always. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that you got something out of it, and I will see you next Friday. Bye.